Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Bando Mohe Savadana Mate Yahara Prashad Hai Bhai E Baba Toriya Jai Krishna Prapti Ho Jai Haite Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chichete Koriya Kya Arana Koriyo Mane Asha Mane Shri Guru Charan Herati Ese Utamagati Ye prashade purne sarva asha Chakshudani lore jame jame Prabhu se Kivigyan re pratashito Kivigyan Prema bhakti ahote adidva vinasa jati Vigigaya haracharito Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Hajama Janara Bando Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Hajama Janara Bando Lokena Lokera Jivana Lokena Lokera Jivana Ha ha Prabhu Koro Doya Teho Mohe Para Jaya Jishi Tripuvana Srila Prabhupada Pravita Pavana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Srila Prabhupada Loera Charana Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Sundhavani Pasyachari Shacharine Namaste Saraswati Deve Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. It's a Gora Hariba, 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 Nitai Gora Hariba.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajikacharya Astotar Satashi Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajikacharya Astotar Satashi Srimad His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Nam Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakund Radha Kund Giri Govardhana Ki Ganga Mai Yamuna Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Tulsi Maharani Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Transcendental Book Distribution Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna and welcome to today's Sunday Love Feast program. A very warm welcome to anyone who's joining us for the first time and to our online community. A gentle reminder before we start today's class to please check if your cell phone is switched off or put on silent mode. Today's class is titled Our Family Business and will be presented by His Grace Devadeva Das. Prabhu is a disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami and has been practicing Krishna consciousness since the year 1998. He is married to Her Grace Karunamai Devi Dasi and has 2 daughters. Prabhu is involved in an array of services. He serves as the personal secretary to His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami and is the head pujari here at Sri Sri Radha Radhanath. He is the global executive director of ISKCON Deity Worship Ministry and is the zonal secretary for the KZN coastal region. He is also a member of Sri Sri Radha Radhanath's management team. So I would like to invite Prabhu to take his seat on the Vyasasan and hand over to him.
Hare Krishna devotees. First we'll sing Jai Radha Madhava and then we'll start. Tulsi Devi will be leading us now.
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Girivadadhari Jaya Girivadadhari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Girivadadhari Jaya Girivadadhari
Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari
Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Jamunatira Vanachari
Munatira Vanachari
Jamunatira Vanachari
Munatira Vanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradari
Radhadari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Radhadari
Yashodanandana Braja Janharanjana
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Janharanjana
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Jamuna Tira Vanachari
Tira Vanachari
Jamuna Tira Vanachari
Tira Vanachari
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Shri Shri Radharanath ki, Shri
Jai.
Prabhupada ki, Nitai
Jai.
Gaur Premanande.
Hare Krishna. So we'd like to welcome all of you to our Sunday Love Feast program today. And today we're going to be speaking about our family business. I think we'll get to that a little later. For now, let us go through some preliminary prayers to our previous acharyas. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpa Charubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam pavanabhyo Vaishnavabhyo namo namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Om Vishnupradaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Amen. Namami Bhakti Chaitanya Prabhu Paridnu Sevanam Shri Vajadan Mahatmya Pradashakam Kripanavam. So today we'll be reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, verse 122. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Maya Mudhya Jivera Nahi Swata Krishna Gyanha Jivera Kripaya Kaila Krishna Veda Purana. The conditioned soul cannot revive his Krishna consciousness by his own effort, but out of the causeless mercy, Lord Krishna compiled the Vedic literature and its supplements, the Puranas. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. A conditioned soul is bewildered by the Lord's illusionary energy, Maya. Maya's business is to keep the conditioned soul forgetful of his real relationship with Krishna. Thus the living entity forgets his real identity as the spirit soul, or Brahman, and instead of realizing his factual position, thinks himself the product of the material energy. According to the Srimad Bhagavatam, Yaya samho hito jiva atmanam trigun atmakam paro api manyate anartam tat kripa kabi padyate. Due to his external energy, the living entity, although transcendental to the three modes of material nature, thinks himself as a material product, and thus undergoes the reactions of material miseries. This is the description of Maya's action. Upon the conditioned soul, thinking himself a product of the material energy, the conditioned soul engages in the service of the material energy in so many different ways. He becomes the servant of lust, anger, greed, and envy. In this way, one totally becomes a servant of the illusionary energy. Later, the bewildered soul becomes a servant of mental speculation, but in any case, he is simply covered by the illusionary energy. Out of his causeless mercy and compassion, Krishna has compiled various Vedic literatures in his incarnation as Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva is a Shakti Avesh avatar of Lord Krishna. He has very kindly presented these lectures to awaken these literatures, to awaken the conditioned soul to his senses. Unfortunately, at the present moment, the conditioned souls are guided by demons who do not care to read the Vedic literatures. Although there is an immense treasure house of knowledge, people are engaged in reading useless literature that will give him no information on how to get out of the clutches of Maya. The purport of the Vedic literatures is to explain, is also explained in the following verses. So we'll just go through that one verse for today. Again, the conditioned soul cannot revive his Krishna consciousness by his own effort, but out of his causeless mercy, Lord Krishna compiled the Vedic literature and it supplements the Puranas. So here we have Lord Chaitanya, who has spoken to Sanatana Goswami this very verse, explaining the position of the conditioned souls in the material world and the position of the devotee. By nature, the conditioned souls have come to the material world because of their want of being independent, because they wanted to enjoy independently of Krishna. So while in the spiritual world, some little desire had surfaced, and Krishna sends them down to the material world to fulfill that desire. But while here entangled in the material world, one becomes more and more attached to family life, to sense enjoyment, to just everything that the material nature can throw at us. And we forget our real purpose of being servants of Krishna. And then somehow, by the mercy of Lord Krishna, somehow we come in contact with Krishna consciousness. Whether it was by a devotee's direct mercy, by speaking to us, seeing us, or by hearing of the holy name, or by receiving a book from some devotee. One way or the other, all of us who are seated here today came in contact with some mercy from some source to bring us forward today. By nature, the material or the conditioned soul is not so outgoing. We find that even within ourselves, when we go to a new place or something that we haven't tested before, we're always a little skeptical. We're always thinking, it's a bit too much, or we're a little shy. When we think of when we first came to the temple, there was a crowd of people, and we ourselves were like kind of, hovering in the corner, shy that we don't know what to do, or we'll feel out of place. And likewise, the conditioned souls are all like this. They are not so open to receiving something that's unknown, because we're all afraid of the unknown, right? And then a devotee comes up and starts preaching vigorously. Maybe the person is not really at a stage where they can actually receive it, because we know that we have accepted this as the absolute truth, but out there they haven't. And then when we start preaching, it's kind of bewildering to most. So the best means for this literature or this knowledge to be spread would be via Srila Prabhupada's books. the 5 minutes or the 3 minutes that we present ourselves in front of somebody cannot convince them that this is the actual process and this is the correct process. So Srila Prabhupada's books, it's explained, it's like time bombs. You never know when it's going to explode. I'll give you a practical example of my own experience with Srila Prabhupada's books and how I joined Krishna consciousness. 49 years ago, the Srila Prabhupada came to South Africa. Next year, we're celebrating Srila Prabhupada's 50th anniversary of coming to South Africa. And at that time, the devotees decided to invite all of the prominent businessmen to City Hall. And my grandfather happened to be one of those people that was invited to City Hall. And they had given him a paperback Bhagavad Gita, English version. I don't think we print that anymore. But it was just an English version, paperback Bhagavad Gita, and an SSR, Science of Self-Realization. So my grandfather had a library at his offices. He stamped it like he stamped all of his other books, and he placed it in the library. And, well, what happened? So then what was it? I think I was 11, and I had to do a book review. So I went to my grandfather's library, and I started looking through everything. And this Bhagavad Gita, which we never read before, we were, I'd say, somewhat pious but not so pious Hindus. So the Bhagavad Gita that we had was covered in a red cloth that was, by the prayer place. So I never read it. And then while browsing through the library, there was a thin paperback version of Bhagavad Gita, and I was like, this is meant to be, our scripture. At least I knew that part. This is meant to be our scripture. So I took it out, and I decided, okay, let me just read that. And I read it. First, it was I was 11, I think. So it was a little much for me. But then I recognized Srila Prabhupada's picture on the Bhagavad Gita, and then the other book that was there, right next to it, SSR, was also there. So then I read that sometime later. It was also a little bewildering. I was 11. But anyway, that was my first experience with Krishna consciousness. And that's when I became vegetarian. I joined, I started chanting. And it's all because a book was given to my grandfather at that time, 20 some odd years ago. So you never know. Srila Prabhupada's books are like these, the message is there. It's a ticking time bomb. You never know when somebody will feel inspired, when somebody would be in a situation where they would pick up Srila Prabhupada's book and then realize the absolute value of it. So I'm sure there's many other devotees here who have experiences like this where somehow we had some contact with Srila Prabhupada's books and joined Krishna consciousness, or if not, just by reading Srila Prabhupada's books later on strengthened our Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada put a huge effort in translating, even right before he left his body, translating all of the books, because it was the most important service to him, the absolute most important service to him. So back to the conditioned souls, when we are approached by somebody new, generally we're not very happy to see the person. And we're always thinking, what do they want from us? Because some stranger just comes up to you and is like, hi, Hare Krishna. And the first thing we'd be thinking like, what's happening here? People are generally like, I do gardening. It's one of the things that I like doing. I plant the flowers for Radha Vadanath. And often, when you're going through a garden and you're kind of pulling out some weeds and things, you pick up a stone, and under the stone there's always some sort of creatures there. And so when you pick up the stone, the light comes in, and these creatures just start scurrying all around because they don't want to be near you. But when you put the stone back, if you do it immediately, the creatures go back into their little, cave or whatever you want to call it, because they find that comforting. They find that area a known area for them. So it's very comforting for them. Likewise with the conditioned souls, with people out there. We like what we are comfortable with. Even right now, we may be more seasoned in Krishna consciousness, but if we didn't do a certain service before, if we ask you to do it now, there'll be some hesitation. You'd be like, no, Prabhu, ask him, or maybe I'll do it next time, or something like that, because we are afraid of the unknown. So when we go out there and we try to spread Srila Prabhupada's books, it's the same situation. They don't know us. We know that we have the most priceless knowledge. We have the greatest gift that we ever want to give them, or we've ever received, but they don't know that. So the way we have to interact with people is dependent on what we have learnt. Right? Let me just say that again. The way we have to interact with people is dependent on what we have learned. And often, we don't actually learn how to spread Krishna consciousness in a systematic way, actually. I know for this reason, the book ministry has a resolution in the ISKCON law book that nobody is allowed to teach the book ministries course unless they have passed the book ministries course, because it's just a bona fide way of kind of teaching people the right approaches to book distribution. Having said that, that doesn't disqualify us from being a part of the service of distributing books. With the instruction, Srila Prabhupada has instructed everybody in ISKCON to distribute books. And with the instruction comes the mercy of the spiritual master. So with the instruction, automatically the ability manifests within you. Sounds a bit profound. It's like saying, I've asked you to cook, and because I'm your spiritual master, you must cook, and it must taste good. Do we have faith in that? Maybe not. But Shri Radha Radhanath, Srimad Mahaprabhu Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So, the degree to which we have faith in the instructions of the spiritual master would be, to that degree, it would be able to manifest within our hearts. So if we have faith that the process is perfect, then it'll come to you. I started distributing Srila Prabhupada's books when I was 15. We used to have a Namahata where we all used to be engaged in teams to go out distributing books. It was actually fun. We all really enjoyed it. We got to spend lots of time with our friends, and a senior devotee was kind of posted in that group with us. And then we would have like a transcendental competition between each group who would distribute more books. And I tell you, I knew practically nothing, but we distributed books. The trick is to just place the book in the people's hand, and then give them a little explanation on it, and then by giving that explanation, you create something within them, some inquisitiveness, that they'd want to actually take the book. The area that we used to distribute mainly was in Tongat. And it used to be during the December time because that's when school exams were over. Most people would not actually earn much because it was all like low-cost housing, flats, and those kind of situations. But every single person that saw us, be it a Christian or a Muslim, they would give us something. And we can say maybe this was 20 years ago, so people were more pious. But actually, if you go out there, even now, people give you something. If they don't have 30 rand for a book, they may give you 5 rand, or they may give you something. And often we would just give the book because we had enough sponsors to cover the books. So we would just give the book because we saw there was interest. But people used to buy. So what I'm trying to say here is that the ability to distribute books doesn't only lie with the more seasoned devotees. It is our duty to fulfill the orders of Srila Prabhupada. It's actually our duty. And we have been saved, believe it or not. Just the fact that we are here, we have been saved. By us chanting Hare Krishna, it's said if you chant Hare Krishna even once in your life, you're a devotee. And if you take some Mahaprasad, then you'll get a birth as a Vaishnav in your next life. We know the pastime of Ajamil. Ajamil accidentally was chanting his son's name, Narayan, but he went back home, back to Godhead. So it's there. It's proven that we are saved. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't work on us becoming more saved. We should definitely aspire to becoming better Vaishnavas, and we should aspire to growing our Krishna consciousness. But at the same time, we should aspire to wanting to save the world from themselves. How do you save somebody if they don't know that they have to be saved themselves? It's a bit of a difficult task, right? But this is the responsibility that sits on our shoulders. By mere fact that you have been saved, that Srila Prabhupada has inspired somebody to spread Krishna consciousness to you, then we should want to save everyone. We should make some effort to save everyone. I know what you're thinking. What about those who are born in Krishna consciousness? Well, you're saved by your parents. But at the same time, your parents were saved by Srila Prabhupada. So, So this is the most pleasing service to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada made it known many a time that there is nothing as important, absolutely nothing as important as distributing his books. So as a manager, I may sit here now and say, I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot because then no one will do any other services in the temple. Who's going to serve the deities? Because everyone's going to serve the book distribution service. But everything is important in its own accord. All services are absolute in one sense, but book distribution or saving the devotees, preaching, saving people is the highest service. It's the highest service. I want to read something from Srila Prabhupada. This is an evening darshan with Panchadriva Prabhu. Srila Prabhupada, 2 boys are here. They are from the Karaks. This one boy is Ramanuja Acharya. He distributed over 3,000 Bhagavatams in the month of December. He did over 300 books every day. So the devotees exclaimed, Srila Prabhupada said, "Wonderful, thank you very much." Tamal Krishna Maharaj, This is him. This is the boy. Srila Prabhupada. Oh, very good. The more you distribute books, the more you are blessed. There is no more or less. Everyone is blessed. But there is no discrimination. But still, there is some competition. You are distributing this knowledge, so you become immediately recognized. Very dear servant, very confidential servant of Krishna. He says, personally, amongst the human, this is Bhagavad Gita 1869, amongst the human beings, those who are doing this preaching, nobody is dearer than these persons to me. So to be quickly recognized by Krishna, this is the shortcut process. He never says those who are sitting in a secluded place, meditating or chanting, doing nothing. He never says that. They are my very dear devotees. This is what Krishna is saying in 1866. But those who are preaching, just like the government takes more care of his own soldiers, especially when there is fighting, they are giving life for the state. So their comfort is the first consideration of the government. In the war field, enough supplies. Anything the soldiers require, enough supplies. Everything is given to them. Room Conversation, August 22nd, 1976. So Srila Prabhupada confirms time and time again. There's possibly 100 different statements like this. I've just read one, really, where it's the most dear service to him. Books are the basis. Books are the basis. What's the questions? Yeah. Thank you. And so Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that there is nothing lacking in this world. There's absolutely nothing lacking. And as Kali Yuga is manifesting more and more, you see so much more facility for everything. Previously, one book would take months to write. They would write it on palm leaves, and then that would have to dry. And after that, they would combine it, sew it manually, and you'd have one book. Then you start the next book. Imagine if we didn't have this facility of Kali Yuga now, where we can print thousands of books per day. How much harder it would be to spread Krishna consciousness. Would we even be seated here today? Would we even have Krishna consciousness if the devotees very tactfully didn't use the facility of Kali Yuga? So yeah, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that there's nothing lacking in this material world except for Krishna consciousness. So the duty is there of those who are already Krishna conscious. And we should feel that. We should feel it deep within our hearts, always anchoring to try and save others, to always try and give this knowledge. And that is how Krishna consciousness spread. Yes, by the instruction of Srila Prabhupada, and then the instructions of his disciples and grand disciples, who have taken on disciples and who are like vigorously preaching. But imagine what a difference it would be if each one of us went out and distributed 2 books, or made it an effort to go to one person every day and speak something about Krishna consciousness, and not to your own family members. What a difference we would make to just Durban. What to speak of ISKCON's 700 temples and the congregation of, 1.4 million or something currently. It means every day 1.4 million people will be hearing about Krishna. But it comes with us not being complacent. It comes with us actually feeling that we have to do this, that we want to do this in a joyful way. And if we have enthusiasm, then enthusiasm would flow on the next person naturally. It's like, I'm a deity person. I love serving the deities. It's just something that I do. I feel I'm kind of inclined to that. And anybody who associates with me, generally I would engage in deity service. So naturally we would speak something about the deities because I feel like I strongly love the deities. Likewise, if you strongly love Srila Prabhupada, if you really care for Srila Prabhupada, then you'd want to do what pleases him. You'd want to, because how do you serve your loved ones? You don't, if the loved one asks for water, you don't say, here's some cold drink. If the child needs to drink milk, you don't bring a pizza to the child. So you serve the loved one according to the way the loved one needs to be served or wants to be served. So we do so many different things, thinking that we are pleasing Srila Prabhupada, and maybe we are to some degree, but to the largest degree would be trying to save others, bring others to Krishna consciousness. There's a nice meditation that we chant every time we serve the deities. It's very nice. It kind of puts your mind in perspective, where you are. And I think I'll just recite that. I am by nature the eternal servant of Krishna, but because of my bad fortune, I have been inimical towards him from time immemorial, and thus I have identified myself with my body and continuously wandered in the cycle of birth and death in the material world, suffering the burning threefold miseries. Now, as a result of some unimaginable good fortune, my spiritual master's mercy has enabled me to know that I am Krishna's eternal servant, an infinitesimal spiritual being, completely apart from the gross and subtle body. And so, by the order of my spiritual master, I have obtained the good fortune of serving the lotus of his lotus feet and following in his footsteps the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Sri Radha Radhanath. So it's a very powerful thing that actually all devotees who serve deities generally would be chanting on a daily basis. But it kind of puts into perspective that we have been saved. And I know I'm drilling this point in over and over, that we have been saved. But actually we have been saved. So, because we have been saved, we must save others. We must save others. This is the compassion of a Vaishnav. That we don't just sit back and think, yes, now I have reached my goal. Rather, we have to develop this mood and this heart of compassion where we want to give, because it's such a jewel, such a gem, that we want to give it to others as we've received it. And how to do that? The next purport explains, Sarva dharman parichaja mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mukshayasyami ma suchaha. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 1866, I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. But it comes with a price. So what is the price? The price is that one should surrender completely unto him. Abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto me, and I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So Krishna is asking that we surrender completely unto him. And this means surrendering unto the process that Srila Prabhupada has given us. All right, so I think I would stop there. Let me take some questions. Oh, our family business. So, this is our family business. This is our family business. It's a very nicely coined statement. It's not that Krishna consciousness is a business. Please don't get me wrong. It is that our business is the mission of Srila Prabhupada. That's what it is. Srila Prabhupada came to the Western countries, the Western world, and he preached vigorously to save the conditioned souls. And that's our business. And the best way to do it is to distribute his books. This is our family business. So, yes, let's go to the next. Does all of Lord Vishnu's forms have different celestial planets? Yes, they do. But it's not on the material platform. It's all on the spiritual platform. How many forms does Lord Vishnu come in? So it's a little difficult to explain this because there's primary forms and then there's secondary forms. We have the main forms of Krishna, which are the avatars, and then we have the secondary forms or partial manifestations. If we're asking about Lord Vishnu himself, Lord Vishnu is not actually in full opulence in all the forms. Lord Krishna is in full opulence, and Lord Vishnu possesses only 5 of those 6 opulences. And then there's partial forms where even like Vedavyas, there's so many, but even like Vedavyas who was empowered to write the Vedas, who is also a form, a Shakti Avesh avatar. So it's a little difficult to explain that one. Can you please advise on how the youth could approach book distribution, because it is a bit intimidating? I was a youth once. How to do that? Let's do a practical example. You want to come up? The next question: how can I feel the blessing coming to me from Lord Krishna? The easiest answer for that would be via the devotees. Krishna speaks via the devotees. Krishna interacts and empowers his devotees. So I think if you are kind of waiting for Krishna to step down from the altar and interact with you and make you feel that you're going to get this blessing from him, I think we need to kind of change our mindset a little bit, because Krishna's hand is everywhere. Krishna's hand is in the prasad that was given to you today, that's going to be given to you today. Krishna's hand is in the devotee that's sitting right next to you, and the conversation that you had, or just the smile that you received when you entered the door. I hope you received a smile. Or whichever devotee interacted with you. Krishna's hand is everywhere, and those are blessings. Sometimes we kind of wait for some big impact to make us feel that there's a change, or make us feel that there's some sort of, let's use the word blessing, coming our way, like, oh, I got this garland from Krishna today, and because the flower fell from Radharani, my desire is going to be fulfilled. What a blessing. But it's not, that's definitely there. It's definitely there. If the flower falls, it's a sign that whatever prayer you have is going to manifest. It's definitely there. But at the same time, let us count the little blessings that we have, because collectively, every little blessing, it will have a big impact. And we often take for granted that, we have this wonderful facility. We have the devotees amongst us. The devotees are always going to be there. If I don't come, I don't see, I don't serve, I don't associate for some time, I'll come back and I'll still get the smiling faces of the devotees. I'll still have prasad. I'll still, when I'm ready, be engaged in something. And we don't actually count all of the blessings that we actually have until we don't have it. Until we don't have it. And then we realize that, what? I'm missing something. How many of you, when you don't have the association of devotees for some time, feel that there's some sort of gap? There's something missing. So isn't that a blessing? Isn't that a blessing in our lives? Just having the Vaishnavas, just being able to take prasad together, going through the Sunday Love Feast prasadam queue, and as you walk past, everybody is in a happy, joyful mood and greeting you and Hare Krishna, I'm so happy to see you. And if you don't get that, please do that today. Because this is the mood that we want to imbibe, that this is the shelter for the congregation. That Srila Prabhupada said, actually, that you go out throughout the week and you are forced to mingle with the material energy. We all have day jobs. We all working or associating with people who are not as Krishna conscious, who's not so much inspiring us. So all of that kind of sits heavy on us. And then we come to the Sunday program, and everything is just removed by the association of the Vaishnavas. And we feel invigorated, empowered, so we can go another week and then come back and just rejuvenate the next week. Right? This is the process. This is why Srila Prabhupada created the Sunday program, so that we can all associate with each other. So, let us be a blessing. Let us be a blessing, and let us also count our blessings. So we're going to joyfully greet everybody today, right? Jai. And this is the last question. How do we do good and pursue good when we take Krishna's name when bad things happen to us? Sorry, I have 4 eyes, but I was struggling to read that. How do we do good, see good, be good when bad things are happening to us? So it takes a little bit of maturity to understand that bad things are not necessarily bad things. Remember, I spoke about the reason we came to the material nature. We came here because we wanted to be independent. But then we have Yoga Maya, and her job is to crack the whip, to remind us that this place is a place of suffering and that it is not the permanent situation. So, every now and then, according to our karmic reactions, Yoga Maya cracks the whip. So it's not such nice things that may happen. And then we think, why is this happening to me? I'm pious, I think I'm pious, and I'm serving, I'm trying to do some service in between, I'm looking after my family, I'm coming and doing some service once a week or so at the temple. I'm chanting my rounds every day. I'm following the principles. I'm cooking for the Lord at home. I'm doing my offering. Why are bad things happening to me? So the understanding is that these are all due to past reactions, previous reactions, maybe from this lifetime, maybe from previous lifetimes, which we have to endure. But at the same time, the mood that we should have, although it's very hard for us to actually have and imbibe this mood, but the mood that we should have is, yes, Krishna's favoring me. Krishna's favoring me by sending these little things, sometimes big things, because I'm forced to think about him. So, when do you think that your prayer is most sincere? When you are happy, when you are joyful, when you received, let's say you got a bonus at work. Everyone's happy to get a bonus, right? So we received a bonus. Yay, I'm so happy. And the first thing you think about is how I'm going to spend that bonus. Are we really thinking, Krishna, I'm so grateful you gave me so much more money and now I'll use this in devotional service? Not so much, maybe to some degree, those who are more advanced, but not so much. So, likewise, think about you in a difficult situation. Let's say you are in a car accident. What's the first thing you would think about? Krishna, save me, right? So when we are in anxiety, automatically we go to Krishna. So when you come to the stage of where you are constantly thinking about Krishna and appreciating Krishna, and even while you are happy, then you'll see lesser and lesser negative situations will manifest. But the more we are forgetful of our relationship with Krishna, then more of these bad things, as it's put here, would manifest. It would. Also, we have karmic reaction. That's there. But just by the process of chanting Hare Krishna, the reaction is severely reduced. It's severely reduced. For example, if I was meant to break an arm and a leg in an accident, possibly the car may get dented and I may get a whiplash. It's just the level of karmic reaction is reduced. It's not that it's totally gone away. So, back to the question, how do we do good? How do we do good when bad things happen to us? You just continue doing good. It's as simple as that, even though it's difficult to understand. You just continue the process. You continue doing good. It's just tests and it won't last forever. And if you're having some difficulty understanding it, then I suggest you You find one of the most seasoned devotees and you express your heart. Because this is one of the loving exchanges with devotees. We express our hearts in confidence. And the knowledge that the senior would have would be able, he'll be able, or she'll be able to impart that knowledge onto you. And you'll very easily be able to understand the position that you actually are in. I have 3 more minutes. Is there any other questions that somebody who's not shy would want to speak now? Is there any new people here today? You new? First time? Jai, welcome. Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Alanath Prabhu, somebody. Yeah, I think we kind of done. Right, so back to book distribution. So this is a very special month and a half. It is Srila Prabhupada's book marathon. And I know, we sometimes distribute books kind of here and there throughout the year. But now it's a special marathon where we all kind of collectively come together and we transcendentally have a competition with each other with regards to how many books we're going to sell. Let me just write. So the book marathon is from the 15th of November to the 7th of January. And our goal is to distribute 20,000 books for Radha Vadanath Temple. So if we just do a few books each, we can very easily meet that goal. We also want to distribute 1,900 Bhagavad Gitas for the BBT Live campaign, or the BBT Live to Give campaign. And on Gita Jayanti, which is on the 12th of December, we encourage everybody to distribute one Bhagavad Gita. So we have a very nice book team, book office. We generally call them the book office, although it's a team of devotees, just one second, let me just finish this, who have different spots arranged where we can go to malls and markets, or we can go on the streets with them, or we could possibly distribute books to friends and families, festive gifts. We can sponsor towards the campus preaching initiatives. Sometimes we are a bit shy and we don't want to actually go out and distribute the book. Jai Shri Shri Radha Radhanath Shriman Mahaprabhu Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So it's just different ways of how we can do it. I mean, we feel a little safer in our Namahata environment, so we can distribute in Namahata, even temple department initiatives, where different teams are going out distributing books. Or you can just buy a book yourself and distribute it to somebody. But just remember that we are saved. So let's save everyone else. Hare Krishna. Thank you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Devadeva Prabhu, for that very insightful class that really did highlight the importance of book distribution and Srila Prabhupada's books. As Prabhu mentioned, the book marathon has officially started. So if you would like to get involved, please contact the Sankirtan office. I would now like to call upon Rukmini Mataji and thereafter Rohini Mataji to please share some exciting news with us.
Yeah. So those of you who would like to purchase a book or take some books towards the book marathon, there's festive packs here. It's 100 Rand, 108 Rands, and there's a couple others which is like 30 Rands or 20 Rands even. So please, you can see me afterwards, after the Arati, the Kirtan, I guess, or you can just go to the back at the TCK book table and they'll also help you. Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Guess those one comes with extra blessings from Devadeva Prabhu. Speaking of blessings, dear devotees, very quickly, I would like to tell you about some blessings that are coming your way in December. Her Grace Urmila Prabhu will be visiting from December 4th to December 18th. And some of the highlights that you can catch of hers as a senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada, who's been educated in the secular and the spiritual field for 5 decades with a PhD in education. She's going to be doing a writing seminar. So if you were ever interested in writing or thinking about writing, actually there's a quote of Srila Prabhupada that said, a devotee should write at least 1 line every day, every devotee. So if you're interested in that, you can join that seminar. She'll also do, over the morning classes, she will speak from a book called the Mana Shiksha. Now, I don't know about you, but you ever notice when you put your hand in your bead bag, how your mind just goes all around the universe? And sometimes that's the hardest thing to control within our spiritual lives, is just this crazy mind. So Mana Shiksha is instructions to the mind, and you can catch that seminar over 6 morning classes. And if you're not at the temple at that time for some reasons, then you can catch it online. Together with that, one of her latest books, because she is an author and she has some Amazon bestsellers, is Krishna Meditation. And this is a beautiful artistic pictorial book which she will do seminars based on, that teaches us how we can see Krishna and meditate upon him through everything that we see in the world. Now, I've listened to a class of hers that where she explains about her meditations on Lord Krishna through the process of becoming a mother, and it was totally mind-blowing. So if you want to learn about how to meditate more and bring Krishna into your thoughts, that would be a really awesome seminar to attend. And as Devadeva Prabhu mentioned, it's going to be the advent of Bhagavad Gita on the first Ekadashi in December. And then on that day, she will do a 1-hour summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. So if you want to know what Krishna told Arjuna really quickly, you can catch it on that day. The highlight of her programs will be a 2-part seminar called Career Dharma. And this one, we really want to put out there, especially there's one that's under 18s. And I don't know if you've noticed, parents, but somehow we have our children and we put them through this, socially we put them through this crazy process. When they're like in grade 9, they should know what subjects they need to choose. When they're in grade 11, they should know what they want to do at university. I studied engineering because I liked the way the chemicals changed color. How do we know? We don't know. So this seminar called Career Dharma helps you understand who am I, what's my nature, how I can combine that in my career and align that to my spiritual principles. Doesn't that sound wonderful? So especially for our under 18s, we have a special session where she will just do a workshop on that subject. But also for our over 18s, if you're in university, if you're in a job, and you want to know how to balance the material and spiritual, there's a 2-part seminar happening on the 14th and 15th of December. These 2 seminars are the only ones with a nominal fee and require registration. You'll see our posters up. And if you're just not sure about what's happening, you can check in with our gift shop below, or check in with me, or just ask somebody around to look at the poster. So all these blessings are coming your way. Please take full advantage of them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. The ISKCON Durban Youth Group is really excited to announce that this Saturday, 30th of November, we're going to have our year-end Kirtan Mela. Yay! Hare Krishna! So we're really, really excited about this. So please let us serve you and let us get absorbed in the holy name. RSVP is required, so it's going to start at 2 p.m. to 7:30 on Saturday, and lunch and dinner will be served at Shri Shri Radha Radhanath. And also, it's an opportunity for our youth to sign up to 2025 Youth Club. We're going to have so many youth clubs next year. We're currently running our book club every Friday, and we'll definitely tell you more about the various clubs that the youth can sign up to. So we're going to have that at the Kirtan Mela as well. So please, please, please come and join us. It'll be lots of fun, and please RSVP. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So there's a lot happening in December, and I hope that everyone can take part in this. Thank you, devotees, for joining us today. Today's Sunday Love Feast was prepared by the Potchefstroom Namahata, headed by His Grace Priya Vrata Das and his lovely team. So now we will take part in Aarti and Kirtan. Hare Krishna.
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pasyacharisha Charine Namaste Saraswati Deve Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Keep it lower. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Radha Natha Radha Radha Natha Radhe. Jaya Radha Radha Natha Radha Radha Natha Radhe. Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitya Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitya Gaura Haribo. Haribo, Nitya Gaura.
Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Privrajikacharya Astotara Satashi Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Privrajikacharya Astotara Satashi Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Bhakti Devi Tulsi Maharani Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Sri Prabhupada.
Namaste Narsimhaya Praladharadhai Hiranyakashipurusha Shiradhakara Kalari Ito Nishingha Parato Nishingha Yato Yato Yamitato Nishingha Pahi Nishingha Hridaye Nishingha Narasingha Mare Sharana Kapati Narasingha Mare Sharana Kapati Tavakara Kamala Parinaka Abhuta Singha Darita Hiranyakashipu Ranovinga Keshavarita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hari Jai Jagadish Hari Jai Jagadish Hari Keshavarita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hari Jai Jagadish Hari Jai Jagadish Hari Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Lakshmi Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki, Shri Prabhupada ki.